Oh! Now I know. Now I'm blushing.
On the third day, I remember I found myself starting to look around to see where. I was like, well, he's obviously going to be somewhere close by. Where is he?
Hollywood press tours are supposed to promote movies, but this one? It's making people question entire relationships.
Right now, because he's not in a corner of a room watching me right now. And then he wasn't, and I was really unnerved and unmoored, and I felt like quite lost, like just like a kid without their like blanket or something. I was like, where is he? And I asked AD, I was like, so Jacob, where is Jacob right now? And they're like, he's just doing a costume change, it's not a big deal. But I found myself so dependent, like codependent.
Because the way Margot Robbie talks about Jacob Elordi during the Wuthering Heights interviews has fans asking one brutal question: wait, is she still married? From Valentine's Day roses, to codependent confessions, to Jacob admitting he stayed within 5 to 10 meters of Margot at all times, this press tour has officially crossed into very weird territory. And honestly, the internet cannot stop watching. The moment the first trailer for Wuthering Heights dropped, people were already divided.
I remember when I was reading it, I was just like, no, yes, this is special. This is a really special movie.
Yeah.
Not because of the acting, not because of the story, but because the entire movie looked strange.
And then he wasn't, and I was really unnerved and unmoored, and I felt like quite lost, like just like a kid without their like.
The costumes, the chemistry, the aesthetic. Fans immediately started roasting it online. Some said it looked like a confusing costume party, others called the outfits historically offensive. But then, the interviews started, and suddenly, nobody cared about the costumes anymore.
Blanket or something. I was like, where is he? And I asked AD, I was like, so Jacob, where is Jacob right now? And they're like, he's just doing a costume change, it's not a big deal. But I found myself so dependent, like codependent.
Because Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi were acting like two people who had just survived a 3-year romance together.
Honestly, there's so many times in the movie where he just like picks me up and puts me in a tree, or picks me up with one hand.
During one interview, Margot revealed that Jacob filled her room with roses on Valentine's Day while filming. And not just a few roses, an entire room. She explained that it was technically from Heathcliff, his character in the movie, but fans were still staring at the screen like, uh-huh. Then it somehow got even more intense. Margot literally admitted that the gesture made her think Jacob would be a great boyfriend. And the internet lost it, especially after she described how thoughtful and meaningful everything was. Not exactly the kind of thing married actresses casually say during promo tours without people noticing. And that's when social media officially entered detective mode, because suddenly everyone started asking,
I have to say, like, it's really nice. It makes you feel like, oh, I'm light as a feather, I'm a tiny little thing.
why does this sound less like co-stars and more like emotional attachment? But the weirdest moment had to be the codependent confession. Margot openly admitted that while filming, she became emotionally dependent on Jacob's presence. According to her, he would constantly stay nearby during scenes, just standing in corners, watching her perform. And after a few days, she started expecting him to be there. Then came the line that sent TikTok into chaos. I felt lost when he wasn't around. Not joking, she literally compared it to a child losing a comfort blanket.
I never felt like I needed to be careful with him, and I think he didn't feel like he had to be careful with me. I think we quickly, got to a place where it's like, try anything, do anything, you're not gonna hurt me.
And somehow, Jacob made it even worse, because instead of calming the rumors down, he leaned directly into them. Hard. He admitted they had a mutual obsession. Then casually dropped this line: if you have the opportunity to share a film set with Margot Robbie, you make sure you stay within 5 to 10 meters of her at all times. That clip exploded online instantly, because the way he said it did not sound professional at all. And suddenly the comparison started. People began calling them the new version of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo during the Wicked press tour. Completely attached, emotionally fused, constantly talking about each other. Except this time, the energy felt even more romantic. And the headlines became absolutely insane. Margot Robbie became codependent on Jacob Elordi.
feel like you've been punched in the guts, but you want it again. You know, it was that feeling I think we were hoping to give people.
Jacob Elordi made Margot Robbie weak at the knees. Margot Robbie territorial over Jacob Elordi. At one point, Margot even admitted she hated filming scenes when Jacob wasn't there. And when he worked with other actresses, she joked, "He's mine." That one sentence alone generated thousands of tweets, because people genuinely didn't know whether she was joking anymore.
On people when I work, like I'm so dependent with people I work with, and I love everyone so much, and I'm always that person who's so devastated when a job's over and I never want it to end and I'm going to miss everyone so much. And
meanwhile, Jacob looked completely comfortable feeding the chaos. Every interview became more intense than the last. Every answer sounded weirdly intimate, and fans started wondering if this was genuine chemistry or the smartest marketing campaign Hollywood has pulled in years. Because here's the thing, Margot Robbie isn't just starring in the movie, she's producing it too.
What would you do if, when you're okay, so he said yes, would go? I don't know what you mean there, babes.
To be honest, I don't know what happened, but...
Which changes everything. Suddenly, this entire press tour starts looking less accidental and more strategic. People immediately compared it to the whole Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell situation during Anyone But You. Remember that? The "Are they secretly in love?" Rumors completely carried the movie online. And guess what? That film exploded financially. Now fans think Margot and Jacob may be doing the exact same thing. Create romantic tension, fuel speculation, make every interview go viral. And honestly, it's working perfectly, because people who didn't care about Wuthering Heights before suddenly can't stop talking about it.
even seeing everyone today is so exciting, and I think I developed that quite quickly with Jacob too. I don't know if Emerald told you to do this or you did this, but I remember the first couple of days on set, he would just be like always in the vicinity where I was, but like in a corner, like watching Kathy, and then
I didn't tell him to do that.
and then and you know, an hour later I'm like, oh, he's over there, like he's there, and then.
But despite all the strategy theories, some fans still think the energy crossed a line, especially because Margot is married, and social media has been brutal about it. One viral comment said, "Spouses of actors are the strongest people alive." Another wrote, "What do you mean her husband has to sit there watching Jacob Elordi fill her room with roses?"
And the Heathcliff casting, I mean, has had some comments around if that should be a person of color and, you know, casting Jacob in it. What do you kind of think about that commentary?
I think the thing is everyone who loves this book has such a personal connection to it. And so you can only ever kind of make the movie that you sort of imagined yourself when you read it. And there are so many different takes, so...
And honestly, the more interviews they do, the harder it becomes to tell what's real and what's promo. Because sometimes their chemistry feels genuinely natural, almost too natural. Like when Margot described Jacob lifting her with one arm during filming and dramatically admitted it made her weak at the knees. The internet absolutely had a field day with that clip. Especially after Jacob started smiling during the interview like he knew exactly what he was doing. And maybe he did. Because Jacob Elordi has quietly become one of Hollywood's most mysterious chaos agents. Half the time, nobody even knows who he's dating. And somehow every press tour he touches turns into internet obsession. But this one feels different, because the entire dynamic between him and Margot has people watching interviews more closely than the actual movie trailer. And maybe that's the real genius here. Because whether this chemistry is real, fake, or somewhere in between, one thing is undeniable: Hollywood hasn't seen a press tour this weirdly intense in a very long time. And honestly, this might be the most chaotic celebrity press tour we've seen in a long time. Whether it's real chemistry, clever marketing, or two actors getting way too emotionally attached to their characters, one thing is clear: everyone is talking about Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi right now. And with Wuthering Heights getting closer to release, the internet is only going to get more obsessed with every interview, every look, and every weird little comment they make about each other. So what do you think? Is this just genius movie promotion, or is there actually something deeper going on behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love celebrity drama, awkward interviews, viral Hollywood moments, and all the unseen chaos happening behind the cameras, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more celebrity news and insane entertainment stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.